As Israel enters a tactical pause, aid to Gaza is stopped by Jordan and the UAE. Following Israel's tactical pause in fighting to mitigate a worsening humanitarian crisis, Jordan and the UAE have delivered aid to Gaza. On Sunday, the military of Jordan said that its planes had delivered 25 tons of aid in 3 drops with the help of the United Arab Emirates. A lorry convoy also entered from Egypt and another is due from Jordan. In an effort to refute the false claim of intentional starvation, Israel stated on Sunday that it would allow aid corridors and suspend military operations in some areas of Gaza for 10 hours per day. However, medics reported 9 killed and 54 injured by Israeli fire near an aid convoy route in central Gaza. A residential block was also hit by an airstrike an hour after a pause on Saturday. 9 people were shot, according to local sources, in the Netzarim corridor in central Gaza, along Salah al-Din Street, where many civilians had gathered to await UN aid convoys. A medical official at Al-Adha Hospital in Nuseirat said that the victims were taken there. According to the Israel Defense Forces, its soldiers fired warning shots at a gathering of suspects that was coming toward them. It stated that it did not know of any casualties. In the meantime, an airstrike was pinpointed by BBC Verify to Midhat al-Wahidi Street in the Al-Rimal district of western Gaza City, which Israel had previously designated as an area where operations would cease an hour earlier. Witness accounts and 2 geolocated videos that had been released earlier on Sunday served as the basis for the verification. The IDF said it had checked the coordinates and were not aware of a strike. As desperate Palestinians attempted to grab bags of flour from an aid truck near a food distribution point in Zikim, northern Gaza, on Sunday, food aid trucks arriving in the strip were swarmed. In light of reports of widespread starvation, Israel has come under intense international pressure in recent weeks to allow aid into the territory it controls. According to the World Food Programme of the United Nations, 1/4 of the 2 million people living in Gaza are enduring famine-like conditions, and 1/3 of them do not eat for several days at a time. The Hamas-run health ministry has said that malnutrition has killed more than 100 people in recent days. As they attempted to obtain food from the limited number of distribution points managed by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is supported by Israel and the United States, hundreds of people have been killed by gunfire. David Lammy, the British Foreign Secretary, stated that Israel's concessions over the weekend would not alleviate the suffering in Gaza on their own. He stated in a statement, "While airdrops will help to alleviate the worst of the suffering, land routes serve as the only viable and sustainable means of providing aid into Gaza. These measures must be fully implemented and further barriers on aid removed. The world is watching." In the meantime, UN Human Rights High Commissioner Volker Turk called for increased international pressure to end the war. "Every day," he said, "brought more destruction, more killings, and the further dehumanization of Palestinians." The President of the United States, Donald Trump, stated that he would increase aid to Gaza but emphasized that it was an international problem, it's not a U.S. problem. Reports of a brief humanitarian pause that will allow food and medicine to enter the besieged enclave have been cautiously welcomed by Gazans. Rasha al-Sheikh Khalil, a mother of 4 in Gaza City, told the BBC, "Of course I feel a bit of hope again, but also worried that starvation would continue once the pause is over." 6-year-old Naveen Saleh claimed that her family had not consumed a single fresh fruit or vegetable in 4 months. "There's no chicken, no meat, no eggs. We only have flour and frequently expired canned foods." The majority of the airdrop packages, according to local journalist Imad Kadaya, have fallen in demilitarized places where if you go there you will put yourself in a very big risk, and he is from Al-Mawasi, which is in the south of the Strip. "It is risky because those places have been evacuated and are under Israeli control." Israel's prime minister vowed to continue to fight. "We will continue to act until we achieve all of our war goals, until complete victory," even as airdrops and convoys entered Gaza. Benjamin Netanyahu claimed that Israel had always allowed aid into Gaza and that the United Nations had unfairly blamed his government for the crisis while he was at Ramon Air Force Base in the Negev Desert. "There are secure routes. There have always been, but today it's official. There will be no more justifications," he declared. Under the new measures, Israel said it would suspend fighting in 3 populated areas of Gaza for 10 hours a day and open secure routes for aid delivery. In order to make it possible for the United Nations and other organizations to deliver food and medicine to Palestinians across the Strip, the IDF stated that it would open humanitarian corridors in Gaza for aid convoys. From 6 p.m. to 2300 hours p.m. local time, the routes would be in place. The IDF added that, until further notice, military operations would cease in El-Mawasi, Deir el-Balah, and Gaza City from 10 to 2000 hours local time each day. Following Israel's acceptance of a Jordanian and UAE plan to drop aid into Gaza by air, supported by the UK, Israel made apparent concessions. In response to the Hamas-led attack on southern Israel on October 7, 2023, in which approximately 1,200 people were killed and 251 others were taken hostage, Israel launched a war in Gaza. More than 59,000 people have been killed in Gaza since then, according to the Hamas-run health ministry.